pain, pain inflicted by others, not necessary that you were not part of the entertainment, you were part of that space. And for some reason, some people do get a lot of energy out of pain is energy, so energy out of hurting someone else. So as you know, that I don't take sides or political parties or countries or nothing like that. I'm just saying pain is temporary resident. It becomes a permanent resident when you tend to hold on to the right and wrong of the pain. And when you are inflicting the pain would have happened in the past or just yesterday, and when you're constantly talking about it, you're giving back the energy, you're giving back that person and that event to stay longer in your mindset, and you're giving that energy into that space. So you never really getting or liberated out of the pain. So this is very important. People who are going through pain from a past situation or a relationship, or pain of your losses of your finances, pain of whatever it is, as I say, it is there. And if you're liberated from the pain, you are just allowing yourself to transform and using that energy to realize and respond, and how gently you're going to look after the state of your being. So this is very, very important. Of course, that we have a law, and we have certain levels of prison. So we are trained and psychologically programmed that someone did something, so there should be a punishment. But not if you're keeping that in your mind, you might not get liberated out of the loss that you're having or the pain that you have suffered, because in your mindset you wanted to feel the same deal of suffering that you felt from this person, uh, so that that person should suffer the same thing. But this is a psychological cycle that you cannot escape if you're going to look at in that way. So I'm going to pinpoint certain areas in the class, how to evolve from this place. And if you're holding that trauma, you're giving that energy in part of your body and the mind to deplete you further and become the victim. So you have to recognize, as soon as you're saying the story about the past, this or that, you have entertained the pain and you have become psychologically become the jail keeper of your own pain. And you're the one who is actually trapped in there. Of course, the other person, if that person is living or there, they must love to see that you're suffering, because they love the misery of people, misery of relationships. So they'll constantly go as a habit to damage that, something that they have not healed. So saying that, I'm going to move the camera towards Darren and asking you to elongate the spine. Hi, Rebecca and Daz, come into that place. So whatever that is that you're going through, just find that space and elongate that spine, and very gently start taking a couple of deep breaths, just to take the essence of what I said and what we have discussed in the place of the transformation. So your shoulders are relaxed. You're very gently elevating the space of the heart, and you're very gently refusing to be defined by what someone did to you. So you're bringing the body into a place of thriving, enhancing the energy, and despite of what has happened to you to bring you down, you're just moving forward. They never had power over you to begin with, But watching as you rise above all this destruction, refuse to crumble as you continue to not to be deflated by this. Allow that breath to grow in the space of that you're giving the energy that the outside, if you're still fighting with the outside, energy that they never expected to see from you as a response. This is not an argument, this is not a conflict, this is not a manipulation anymore. This is just getting that neural parts to undo what is you're doing to yourself now from the other. So when your shoulders have relaxed and your spine is elongated with your breath coming into the body and with your breath moving out of the body, now let's gently take a deep breath in and breath out. Twisting the spine to the right side and releasing the tension that you're holding in this body. Now, how do you know that you're holding in this body? Because you're constantly bringing that story constantly back into the present. And this is really shedding. You're not looking at the world, looking at the present place from that wound anymore. Now, very gently come back into the center. Allow your leg formation to relax. Take a deep breath in and elongate the spine. And very gently twist the spine to the other side. You're free from the weight of those actions that committed onto you. I'm not saying that you don't deserve it. I'm not saying that this or that. Just say next time someone trying to do the same thing to you. Let's say next time, back into the center. Now elongate the spine and stretch the neck to the right side. Very gently releasing the tension that you're holding on the back of the shoulder, back of the neck, over protecting. Back into the center. You're pausing and taking that space of the breath to respond, not to react. Now to the other side. Now, this is very good in small ways. You're observing this. It might start with not with that person. It might start with work or a traffic or a weather or a outgoing or a event. Back into the center. Our shoulders relax. Now, very gently shrug the shoulders up till the head back. Massage the back of the skull. Open and close the mouth wider to release that tension that is going through the jaws, using your voice constantly to deplete your energy. Now, chin to the chest, breathe out and allow the spine to collapse into a seated cat. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the left. By doing this, you observe not pain, you observe where your energy is lingering. Not as a flow, but as a stagnation. Breathe out, chin to the chest, relax. Now, lock the anus, lock the navel, lock the throat, just observe. Now you're just, before you have left unchecked these spaces, now you're checking these spaces to psychosomatic practice, back into the center. Now gently take a deep breath in and allow the feet to come into the Sukhasana. Sukhasana. So the ankles are not crossed. So you can roll the calf muscle out and also below the calf muscle all out. So you can create space, roll out to the front and very gently take a deep breath in and very gently walk those palms, intentionally releasing that tension and allow that hips to be open. So we can intentionally see we are holding that pain. Now you're not replaying this negative energy in you. You're not telling the victim story. You're not overfeeding the resentment. You're not fueling your frustration because something is not going, so someone else has to be blamed. Letting the offense live by doing this rent free in your body. So take a deep breath in, palms facing up, releasing the tension, and allow the shoulder blades to sink in, but create space. So now I don't want any part of your thoughts, any part of the body controlling you. Even you have a body away from another person, but with pain, you can be controlled by this pain a lot. Sometimes it's like a puppet. There is a puppeteer, the pain. Sometimes even this can move into the psyche of the dream. So you're constantly running, you're constantly falling, you're constantly. So unknowingly, you give the person to hurt them more. Now take a deep breath in when you come into this realization. Come back very gently. Allow the body, guiding the body very gently. Now you might be not overly, when we look at you, you might not be very reactive in the body, but sometimes your coming and moving into a posture still can hold the patterns of the hurt. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders relax, and bring your left foot into the back. Keep that right hip very gently open. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Breathe out, drop the elbows, walk those palms, release the tension. Now, you have come to this class from yesterday, from day before yesterday, all your unsettlements of, but now you are moving the energy, not to fire anything, but using that energy, and you're tuning into something greater by using that to the movement of the body. If the movement of the body was not done psychosomatically, your body would take the implication of the anger, frustration. You talk to some people, you could already see that in them. So you're not allowing this consummation happens anyway. You're stopping this consume, and you're going to become a better version. You're building that energy to become a better, not stuck. Now take a deep breath in very gently when you come into this realization. Come up and see how you feel the posture, how your sight is. So you're not allowing the all this past to define you. You're using to understand, refine, because this is the energy. This is the energy you're constantly paying. If it was a currency, you would have been bankrupt by now. Plank. Stronger on the pelvic floor. Use this energy to fuel your spine, heart, the breathing, observation. So you're not allowing this to propel constantly on you, pulling you into this, because stop has to happen from you, not from the other person. Now very gently drop the knees, rotate the hips wider, 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 onto the other side, and switch the spine. Now, if you really take the most amazing creative places comes from a place of hurt, but they use this to create their vision, rise above, and to create something for people to experience. Now, if you don't have this creativity in you, you're constantly in this place of hurt, betrayal, and rejection, but you don't have a practice to break free from it. You don't have a practice to transform it. So now you're using this part to sharpen the energy, move the energy, now crawling and bringing the chest into the front, drop the belly, soften the hips, breathing in into an up face, breathe out towards the down face. Now take a deep breath in. You're not doing a full down face. You're warming up into it. You're releasing and you're bringing the strength of being in this pose rather than doing by the pose. So now do the same. When someone hurts you, you take that pain and channel into something much more profound. And I love that it only that person make me more stronger. Left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Now I'll ask now, commonly what is happening is the hurricane or, or things like that. Imagine something like that happening in your life. Are you going to fight or are you going to surrender gently and allow it to pass through? It is much more wiser. So take a deep breath in, elevate the space of the heart very gently, drop the elbows, walk those, and release that space that is there. Shoulders relax and chest open, stronger and wider, and very gently. You're more resilient into the space. Take a deep couple of more breaths. Evolve into the best version of the space of yourself. That's okay. Into a plank. Stronger. Strong on the pelvic floor. And drop the knees. Rotate the hips wider onto both directions. Wider onto the other direction. Knees wide apart and stretch the spine now into the back. Arms facing down. Now, this is the same thing, like a lot of people have this coming into this place of they have doubts about us. Um, but that's also inflicting a lot of pain back into you. They don't trust you. They always have this story, you will never be successful, you will be never good at this, that. But use all that energy as told them, you let it teach you discernment, not the distrust that they have within themselves that they are putting into you. So parents, be careful of your children that you have to have that space of trust. If someone is constantly trying to let you be broken, that is the very reason you should take care of building yourself. But it has to be on your psychology that it's unshakable. It's not about ignoring what happened or pretending it didn't happen or it didn't hurt and I'm okay. It's not like that. But that you're coming to a place that you're refusing to let it control you. Now, got it? Now, crawling, bring the knees together, coming into the space of the chest, knees together, breathing into up face. Breathe out, down face. Now, bending one knee at a time, then very gently lifting up onto the toes, bringing the lower ribs. Keep your back nice and firm and spacious. Now take a deep breath in, left leg into the back, left knee to the chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee onto the right elbow, stretch back, left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms raise onto the ground. Arms onto the Namaskar position. Now imagine that you are going through something, you're working through yourself. Still, this comes as a constant visitor, and you're not allowing it to take the permanency of your life story. It's like fire. It can either burn you or it can be refining you, purifies you. All spiritual path has a fire, has a purification. Now, when you come into that place, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana, take a mudra that strengthens this story, not to live as a permanent resident, but a temporary visitor that time to time comes. But there is a difference is in how you choose to use. It's the truth is you can't always stop people trying to hurt you or bring you down. But what do you do with that space? Will you let it keep you bitter, unhappy, or you let it make you better? Will you be stuck, ask this inquiry, stuck in the past, or will you turn that energy to something much more profound and serving you and the others? Gentle arch. This is a very profound healing class, so very gently try to get the essence of what the speaker is navigating you into rather than word to word. Back into the center, elbow onto the knee, right arm stretch in that space of blossoming. Now you understand the revenge is not the best. Revenge at all is it's becoming so strong, but you are elevating is much more fruitful. Most time you need that revenge. Of course, I understand, right? Reaching into the front and touching. Take a couple of more breaths, settle here because there's a lot of emotional parts coming up to you. Left reaching to the ceiling. Use that energy to flow that into the back and touch the floor and very gently moving into a flat. Stronger on that pelvic floor, coming onto a lower plank if you can, otherwise drop, elbows tucking, breathing into a gentle up phase. Shoulders relaxed, chest open, throat open. Does not allow anything even to throat to be stagnated. Breathe out towards it out. Now take your time in here to warm up into the space of the down phase. Don't go into the down phase out of frustration or pain. This down phase should have no power over you. So how do you transform all this part of your frustration? Is it showing them back your strength? It's not retaliation. But as we always say, it is transitioning transformation. Let the other person see that what other person doing constantly have been found and you no longer reacting onto it. Right leg up into the back, right knee to the right chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, arms raise onto the ground. Take a full cycle of breath, breathe out, spread the wings wider, and come into the pranam position. Now it is the transformation. You're not just using this energy to heal, but you're rising above. Now take a deep breath in. When you come into that space, you refuse to crumble, you choose growth, coming into a Virabhadrasana. Now take a mudra of that space of the mudra is confidence. So you are not using the pain to define you or what someone did to you, but this mudra is you using the energy of the mudra to thrive, create space of joy, and achieve. Despite the other person's attempts to bring you down. Then only they will always feel that they never had power over you to begin. Imagine someone seeing you rising above that has refusing to crumble, but wanted you to be crumbling. Now see this gentle arch, gently coming back into the center, elbow onto the knee, left arm reaching, left shoulder back, give that creative space, left reaching up, opening up the chest, left reaching into the front and touch the foot. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back and touch the floor, into a plank, stronger on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees, stretch the spine. Now you see the perception is changed. Instead of you used to ask, why did they do this? Now you're inquiring what I can learn from this. So whether it's a work colleague, whether it's an ex-partner, whether it's a parent or a father or whatever, I'm not pointing at a person. I'm just saying if that is. How can you transform this painful experience? You have transformed into holding that boundaries of self-worth, extract the lesson out of it. Forgiveness is, I always say, is not about the other. You're forgiving doesn't mean you condone what happened. It means you refuse to let it control you. You don't forgive because they deserve it. You gently coming into this realization, you forgive because you deserve peace. Peace, 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 and finally focus on what's ahead and energy to spend on. Resentment is an energy that is almost can bankrupt you in your wealth, in your health, in your relationships. So ask where you have been spending and redirect that energy towards now very gently into the space that you need to focus on. Now, this is a place, it's very gently Body is better to go into a child pose, knees together. Now I'm asking to go onto a child pose, not as age, but as a space. This is why when you have doesn't have a practice, you don't hold grudges. If your realization is wiser, you rise above them, not because you're not hurt, but you don't want to be in that weak place because you choose to refuse to weigh down by negative and those energies that even you forgive that you entertain this law. So when you come into that place, bring the crown of the head closer to the knees and very gently lift up the buttocks to activate the pituitary and the pineal energy. Now very gently for that the third eye, and the fist is on the third eye. Now this is not about, you have asked about, should I ask this person to come back to my life? Should I allow this person to be part of our family? This is nothing to do with that. This simply means you refuse to let their action shape your future. Think of it. If you carry grudges, you're constantly being shackled to move and it's heavy. Pain, if you don't realize it, it's a shackle that you're constantly carrying. When you are in shackle, someone asking how you are, you're going to react to that by pain because you're filled with resentment and pain. So everywhere you go, it goes with you. It affects the space of the relationship, it affects your mood, it affects the person next to you. It even affects you the ability to enjoy the present comfort and your liberation. So imagine this class is helping you to drop that shackle right now. So when you come into this place, please wake up the vibration of the spine, but lighter, clear, stronger, flowy, rising, very gently coming into that energetic state. People who doesn't have this practice, what is happening to them now? They feel that they are stuck in the resentment. They believe that they are punishing the others. Of course, the person who have hurt them. But in reality, the only person that they are punishing is themselves because they constantly talk about and relive the pain over and over and over and over and again. Take a couple of more deep breaths and allow that breath out from the mouth to release this very gently. This is a dictator in me, has controlled my flow. I am releasing it through my out breath. Choose a different path. Reclaiming your own peace. So, how do you let go? Your perspective instead of asking, why did they do this? What can I learn from this? Where is this holding the lesson for me? Where is my sacred boundaries that I forgot to protect? Not to push others out. Of course, if you have, it's okay to bring the boundaries down. Now, very gently, when you come into this realization, let the feet stretch into the front, shoulders relax, bring your body back into its space, bring your breath back into its space. Now, very gently, sole of the feet together, knees wide apart, roll the calf muscle out, and bring a little bit more that heel into a comfortable place. Now, under the ankle locking onto the toes, move the bum back, take a deep breath in, breath out, release the tension, and coming into the base of the tortoise Kumarasana. Now, in this way, you are going into the tortoise simply means you refuse it to let their actions shape your future. Because your grudges are heavy. They take shape on your body. They take the space in your heart. They take the space in your mind. It drains, it drains. So obviously your energy and you can't even rest because it's tied up to this very thing that you're trying to move past. But the problem here is the more your neuropaths dwell on that, more control that neuropaths have over you. Most part, if you don't have the practice, you even realize that you're carrying this inbuilt dictator in you. So when I talk about a place of small people hold these spaces, grudges very strongly. Now take a deep breath in very gently, come out of that space, shoulders relaxed, chest open, release the betrayal, release the insult, because now you are rejecting for it to linger. Your temptation to hold the grudge is not there. Even to talk about it, even to see the present moment through it. Now, very gently bring the knees to the chest to complete breathe out. I want to see whether you are still carrying the weight of this or you have actually released the weight of this. Breathing in onto the space and stretch the legs. Breathe out into the Navasana. Breathing in, you have got the boat to flow. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Chin up. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Knees to the chest. Now, if you're in the front of the mat, hold on to the knees and roll back onto the floor. So your back is on the floor. And you come into the front and into the back to activate the space of the spine, releasing the damage that you're holding in the spine, the hurt, the grudge, the heaviness, and dropping all these backpacks that has been draining you. Now, very gently, feet closer to the bottom. You're lying down on the floor and tap the tailbone on the out breath and lifting up into a gentle bridge. Now, make sure you don't squeeze the hamstrings, okay? You are working to the space of the butt. When you do it, you're getting the energy to move on the right direction. Now, very gently coming down one vertebra. Now, you're bringing the cervical spine, thoracic spine, and the lumbar spine. Now, you're peeling off from the lumbar spine again on the out breath and lifting up. You're peeling off the spine from that space on the mat, and you're stretching the arms up and into the back. Now, you're holding this posture without locking your hamstrings. And you're breathing and you're holding, but you're not allowing that pain to affect the pose. Letting go, that takes a real strength, but it needs that intention. Now, very gently bring the arms back. Now, bringing the spine down. Now, when your spine is totally on the floor into a lumbar level, bring the knees to the chest. Hold on. And this is a place where you're gently coming into a place of healing. Every detail of the betrayal and the insult, it can linger. And when that lingers, the temptation to hold grudge is very common. Most of the time, the grudge becomes worse if you see the other person having a success out of the insult. So you will ask the question why they got to move on while you still carrying the weight of what they did. Why should they go about their life without the consequences? So you bring the religious part, you bring the karma part, you bring the world against part, and you become almost left with the damage. Uh, and you think it is not reasonable. Now I want you to bring these knees to the chest for something very special. Don't become the policeman of the world need to be fixed. Person needs to be fixed. Just become the watcher now. I want you to elevate not just the other, but bringing it into oneness because they take space in your mind and brain. Just witness. Because the world is so much going on. You only want to give the world another person who has worked with their healing. Otherwise, the world becomes more if you dwell on what they did or control they have over you. And the worst part, most of the time, they don't even realize it while you're carrying it even. Got it? Now, when you got this, take a deep breath in, forehead onto the knees and grab the knees very well. Stomach very gently pulling in and very gently you allowing the back to drop and drop the knees to the right side, arms stretching onto the shoulder height and overlooking the head onto the left side and allow the energy to flow through the ceiling. Now I want your body to give the universe a clear message that everything that the actions have no power over you. And this is the ultimate victory. But letting go of that level needs strength. Now back to the center. Take a deep breath in, breath out onto the other side. Overlooking. Now back into the center. Bring the knees to the chest. Lock onto the toes. Now very gently. So bring the feet more towards your head area Keep the bum down and feet apart. Now, if you can't do this, bend the knees and feet apart, almost like a dead bug. Just seem to come to that space. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. I want you to release the tension and observe the space of the mood, not on the space from dictating. What is the truth of the space? And what is the essence that you have grabbed from it? Boundaries not out of spite, but out of self-respect. It is refusing to let someone negativity to shape who you become. Or when you react with the ego, you fight with the offense. Now knee to the chest, completely breathe out. Rock the spine and very gently coming into a seated posture. Now, the phase of the meditation is engaging the battles that drain this battery energy of you. There is nothing to waste time to prove a point. So observe the breath and allow this energy. Because a lot of people who doesn't have the practice thrive on the drama, and you're moving into the space of the dharma. If you engage with the drama, they will. If you move into the dharma, they have realized it. Now, observe what is your constant repetitive visitor that provokes you. But there are people also provoke you on purpose because they want to see you lose control, and then they will tell you you've got a massive issue. Of course, we all have one of them in our life. Hmm. They want to pull you into their storm of dysfunction, their negativity. But in this deeper level, you're not biting into their bait. It doesn't mean that you have to win this argument because your space of samadhi knows the real victory is in refusing to be controlled by someone else toxic behavior, the ego. So be careful if you're still having the thought, I need to make sure they know what they did to me. Here's the truth. Most people who intentionally hurt you don't even care how you feel. That's why in the first place they hurt you. But when their actions triggers you, and when you're reacting, they will hold you saying, what's wrong with you? When you come into this realization, arms very gently raised back to the crowd. Arms onto the namaskar position of that self-respect. In refusing to let someone's negative shape who you become. Especially when you react with that ego, you let the offense to control you. When your response is the space of strength that you rise above it. Gently raise the arms back into the crown, protecting the space of the crown. Doesn't mean that there won't be moments of frustrations, moments where you want to lash out to prove a point. You're taking a pause to ask yourself, am I reacting from the ego or I'm responding from into the third eye, throat. Strength will be always in this response to lead you healing, or it will just deepen the cycle of hurt. Heart, solar plexus, navel, and vulva. When you come into that space, you shows you're unshaken, unmoved, and unwilling to let the actions dictate the space of who you are truly. Strength isn't silence, but it's wisdom. It's knowing that you somehow battles are worth fighting because your energy is too valuable to spend them on loved ones, creativity, and in the space of your moment. And then you come into that realization, palms onto the namaskar position. Namaste. Namaste. Ah, Maria, good to see you. So, it doesn't stay there. So, very glad to see you all. And you went on a deeper level of healing on these times that we all need. Doesn't matter, we have the most loving, trusting families, friends, relationships. We do come into moments of hurt and pain. As I always says, they're temporary visitors. You're the immigration that gives them the permanent residence. And sometimes you may give them, if they are really, you love your pain, citizenship. Uh, So make sure today you're going to work on those spaces and observe gently to release um, some visitors who try to stay. And that's your strength. My love to you, Liz. My love to you, Sylvia, Rebecca Daz, and your beautiful son. Great to see. And Maria and Sage, and Dr. Michelle, and Nicolina. Love to you all. Big hugs for you. Enjoy this beautiful long weekend. Thank you for being with me. Love to you all. Bye.